Hey folks, Ralf with Stray Benzes here. Today I have a locked up idler pulley on a V8 for the AC pulley. Made no significant rockers, unusual noise, it just locked up. And the only reason how this got noticed was because the surrounding around the car smelled a little funny. Burnt rubber. So anyhow, let's see what we can do about this. Most likely we'll just have to replace the pulley, and here are a couple of steps. So here's a new one on me. Telling me this: the idler pulley is totally locked up. Anyway, that's an issue. So here we have the culprit. You loosen this bolt with a 17mm wrench. You can completely loosen it up and take this out, but the dust shield, as you can see, is loose. That bearing is completely toast. Here you can see the heat that came off of the belt, slipping and sliding there. And this is the bolt that holds this thing in place. All we need to do is get a new belt and a new pulley and reinstall. So here you have a totally fubar bearing, and this is where it sits. You need an 8mm Allen wrench. Out here you need a 22 in order to counter hold, but that pulley is definitely absolutely toast, and because you can't really replace these bearings, we need a completely new one. I know, folks, so got a replacement pulley, which I'll show you in a moment, and the next step will be try to get the big belt on, and I'll show you what the old one looks like, but it's not for the faint of heart, and I'll show you why. So here's the old belt, and you can see how much heat went in that one. It's all brittle, and that's at least 100 miles of working with a locked up pulley. Amazing that that thing is still in one piece. Here is a brand new pulley. Amazingly, it actually fits. That bolt was really tight. I'm going to tighten it up once it's back in place. That goes to the engine block, so you need a 17 for that one, an 8mm for this, and for this flare here you need a 22. But the problem is actually down there. You can't see it now, but I had to cut the belt off because the bench belts are very tight. So trying to get that off, I just cut it off. Got a new one, but you need to take the front first small little bit off from the air pump over there in order to get this new belt back on here. And next we'll install the tensioner, the idler pulley, and how to replace the air pump belt. There's another video on the channel that you can watch. So now we're gonna go and install the idler pulley back on this part. So just to recap, that pulley there locked up. The idler pulley. Takes an 8mm Allen wrench to tighten that to the arm, and you need a 17mm wrench to loosen it up so you can move that up and down. I got a brand new belt from Benz. The other thing that I unfortunately also needed was this little guy for the air pump, because it is so short that you can barely yeah, I could not get that off the pulley down in there, even though I loosened up the mechanism. So right now I'm ready to reinstall the new belt for the air conditioning, and I'm going to loosen that bolt right there to move the pulley down as much as I can. So you need the 22 for the idler arm to tension it, and a 17 to loosen it. You snake around the new belt by ways of putting it on the crankshaft pulley first, hitting the crankshaft first, and then the AC compressor, and then you're finally gonna just move this over top here, and you can see you have plenty of slack so you can tension it. And now you take the 22. Hopefully we're gonna be able to get there. Actually, I'm just gonna loosen this up some more so I can move it by hand, because there's a lot of slack in this one. There we go. Push this up, and you take the 22, put it on the two flares, and now you can really tighten this up. And yeah, I know my hand is most likely, or my arm is going to be in the way, but don't overdo it with the tension. Let's just see. That might be just a tad too tight. You get the concept. All right. All right. So that one is on. So now we're gonna have to take a little one, snake it through again, try to get it started on the air pump pulley and the crankshaft, and then we should have all the belts back in place. All right, that small little belt was a royal pain in the rump. I had to actually take the fan off, loosen up the shroud a little bit, get this out, and then try to finagle that around and over, tension it properly. These are all still in really good shape, but let's crank it up, see that the air conditioning works, and we're going to be ready for the summer. Success! Works beautifully, compressor works, ready to go. Another quick episode of Stray Benzes in the books. That was really a strange one, and I'm so happy that in the, I think it was like 50-60 mile trip home of this car, that did not burn the belt up or burn the car up or anything. That was just amazing. Yeah, so whenever you have like a funky rumbling noise under your hood when you crank it up, loosen up that single belt and try to spin that little pulley. It needs to spin freely. Good luck. Keep those old classics on the road, and talk to you soon.